Podcast, episode 379. This is your host, Tom Sweezy, joined once again with Jason Vivang. And I just want to give a warning to maybe any first-time listeners or watchers of this. Watch the show, listen to it, take it all in, because I think we're going to have some good, healthy USMNT talk, especially. But maybe go check out another one for a little bit more, less depressive vibes that I feel like we're going to give at some point. Is that fair, Jason?
Yeah, we'll see where it goes. I don't know. It's been a few days.
I think
it's
been needed.
It's been almost a week. Has it? No, I don't even know. The days merged all together in my head. Regardless, it's been a few days, and I feel like I'm not all doom and gloom. Let's just put it that way. I'm gonna try and be optimistic. We'll see where that gets us.
That's fair. I think maybe the healthiest way, and look, this is our podcast, this is our platform, so I feel like this is also our space to get some positive and negative frustration out. So I feel like the healthiest way to maybe start this for both of us is just give each other the time to just say what we want to say as a whole, and then we can dive into particular parts. I don't know if you want to go first, but I can.
I can go.
Okay.
I don't know if I so I'm just gonna I'm flying.
It can be good, bad, negative.
Flying off the cuff.
Between, if you want. It's not like it has to be all negative. Mine is gonna skew a little bit more towards negative. So if you want to go, that's
Look,
fine.
I think the way this World Cup went, overall, I'm going to take positives from it. Right? There were some players that I feel really good about. I think Malik Tillman has really impressed me. I truly hope that the club career can kind of get back on track. Obviously, I've been defending him. I've told people that I'm going to just have my victory dance on Malik Tillman because I might be the only person who supported him for a year.
And for those who don't text with Jason during a USMNT game like I do, definitely Jason is having his victory lap. I'll just say
I have to. I mean, to be fair, so my thing with him is get the club career back on track. Obviously, the Leverkusen move at the time we were really excited about. Yeah. He's now on his, I think, third manager at the club. They lost a ton of players, so I don't think it's fair to look at his club form and be like, oh, it's so bad or whatever, because of how much destabilization has happened at that club. And the talent is clearly there, and he was one of the players I think really gave everything at this World Cup, truly put it all out there. I'm really happy with Sebastian Berhalter's performance off the bench. I think we got to the point, which is also a negative thing, that we really only had Sebastian Berhalter off the bench to be someone who could actually play real minutes.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure we'll get into our roster thoughts, which we had prior to the World Cup. And I think a lot of what we said in that episode, so if you go listen to that episode, I think we kind of nailed the roster thoughts because there were some question marks and some things that I truly didn't understand. And I think it ended up actually kind of hurting us in the World Cup. Where else am I going? Okay, another play. Balogun, obviously, you could say, had a great World Cup.
That's a whole fucking thing we missed in a week of not recording. But
I'm honestly glad. Okay, I'm good with missing that. We can maybe talk about it if you really want to. I'm glad we missed that, though.
We'll mention it. But
overall, though, there was a lot that was pretty good, and we looked really good and different against teams. I can't just because it ended so poorly, right? It ended in arguably the worst way it could have ended, right? We got completely embarrassed. We became kind of partially because of the Balogun stuff, kind of just the laughing. What is the word? Laughing?
Laughing stock?
Laughing stock, yeah. Of the world. It was embarrassing for many different reasons. And that all was really unfortunate, but that doesn't change the fact that we were playing in a different way than we've ever played before, beating teams and looking really good against Paraguay and Australia. And say what you will about those teams, sure, it's not like we just beat France, but Paraguay was really good in qualifying. They beat Germany in this World Cup. I'm pretty sure beat Brazil, Argentina, and Uruguay in qualifying. They conceded 9 total goals in qualifying for the World Cup in a really difficult South America region. So, like, I'm not going to just pretend like we had this horrible World Cup when there's a lot of positives for me to take from. And if I'm truly trying to use my, like, optimism here, there's, I think, some good that we can actually focus on, but there's a whole lot of bad too, which I didn't really get into because I'm sure you're going to bring up a lot of the bad. Well, you kind of alluded to it, so I'll let you get into more of the bad stuff, but that's kind of like my, like, glass half full. Maybe there's some things we can take away that are exciting. I do think the last thing I'll say is whether or not Pochettino stays or goes, I think personally it's very surprising to me if he stays. I do think this team at least is pretty attractive to bigger coaches now. Like, I think Poch kind of broke through, and I don't know if we'll get a big-time coach right away. Personally, I think we've talked about one name specifically through text messages that I won't bring up at the moment. But I do think this team is, like, more of a global team now.
I'll give my little speech here, and then we can
give your opinion on whatever I said or whatever your fresh opinion is, and then
No, I don't disagree with much of what you said. I don't think maybe anything, maybe one or two things, but still that's fine. But here's my mini rant. I'm not going to go on a super long one. I have torn feelings, honestly, after this World Cup, because I think I'm going to start even higher than just this World Cup. I'm going to just look at the men's program in general over the last, decade or so, 2016 to 2026, right? Like, there's people online saying, and I might have been one of them in a very immediate reaction, emotional World Cup exit, that the U.S. men's program hasn't gotten better over the last decade. That's false, because it has, right? When you're talking about the academy system in the U.S., when you're talking about MLS and USL, their development, the players coming out from the domestic leagues and the domestic academies and everything like that, the talent has clearly improved. I think the talent on this 2026 men's roster is the most talented roster we've had, but talent doesn't obviously always equal end result and performance, a World Cup run, cohesiveness on the field, whatever it may be. But I think the one thing that I have an issue with still is that the USMNT on the biggest stage, even with the most talented roster, that whether it's an argument or true or whatever, still don't show up and don't perform. The positives that you've said, and I'll just run through super quick, is that we won our group at the World Cup for the first time in 16 years. Obviously, there was a missed World Cup and all of that, so that's a factor to throw in, but still true. We won our most ever games at a World Cup, 3. We won a knockout stage game for the first time in 24 years against Bosnia. And we saw the U.S., I think, probably play their best ever World Cup game versus Paraguay, to your point, Jason, who did really well in CONMEBOL qualifying, who knocked off Germany, who pushed France to the absolute limit as well. And I think the final positive that I'll take away is we saw USMNT soccer culture blossom and vibes and country roads, and I think non-soccer fan, or maybe more casual non-soccer fans, get into it and believe for a hot second, even though, yes, there was no ever chance that we were winning the World Cup, but the why not us and all of that was super fun, and I think a really strong culture, soccer growth kind of movement this last month, right? The negatives is really, it's not even, and I said this to you, and I feel like I've said this to other people, I didn't even give a shit. Well, I gave a shit. But if the U.S. lost versus Belgium, I wouldn't have been that upset. It's not about losing against a top 12 team in the world, right? Like, we played Belgium not that long ago, got our asses kicked. It's not like I was going in expecting to be like, we're going to go win 3-0 or whatever. But it's the way that the U.S. choked and lost this game that
made just insane mistakes from the very beginning.
They rolled over, tucked their tail between their legs, and we're going home. Like, that's what happened in this game. 8 of our 11 starters, that was our best 11, that I would still probably say is our best 11 right now, present.
Look, there's a reason that 11 started, I guess pretty much all the important games.
Yeah, four of the 5 games, right?
Yeah, and one of them didn't matter.
8 of our best 11 had their worst game at the World Cup all at the same time. And in terms of bad plays, bad passing, energy, skill, like everyone, I think 8 of our 11 players had their worst games. That includes the guys like a Pulisic, a McKennie, and Adams, and Anthony Robinson, everyone that you can think of. You know, that's very much
Freeze.
So. Tim Ream, Freeze, Richards. That's probably 8 names I just listed. So that's the part that like really is just kind of leaving like a really bad like sting at the end of this, is for all the positives and the history that we did. And, you know, I would say probably, I'm struggling to call this a successful World Cup because of the sting of that Belgium game. I think it's probably a successful World Cup, but it's...
Do you think that, like, to this point, for us who watch it, you know, 365 days a year and not once every 4 years, our opinion about this is going to be different than, like, to your point, how the casual or like the people who watch really just for the World Cup get excited about it. And I feel like they still probably are pretty happy with the World Cup. I don't know if they're looking at that game all disappointed as much and more like excited and like, wow, that was really fun. Let's do it again in 4 years. Versus us who are like, we've seen the bad and we've seen the good moments and we put way too much time and effort into it. And I'm not trying to say like we're better or anything. I'm just simply saying like the way we think about this team, in the way, like, I have friends who were like super excited texting me about soccer for the first time.
Yeah.
And like for them, and it's probably a question I should have just asked them for doing this, but like I wonder how that opinion changed, if anything, from the Belgium game versus the whole World Cup.
Well, I would be curious, honestly, to hear their opinion, but I do think we have a different point of view than they do, right? And that's fair. That's fine. One of the biggest goals I think for me this summer outside of the soccer on the field was to get the casual fan, the MLB fan, the NHL fan, the NFL fan, whatever, the college football fan to really give a fuck about soccer in some regard, right? Like period. Like, you know, like that's what a home domestic World Cup will do.
Yeah.
My worry is it was fun, it was lively when the US was winning, and then I personally think if the U.S. lost to Belgium 2-1, similar to what happened in 2014, something like that, right, where it was a fight till the end, I think there'd be a lot of fans carrying over. My worry is that the way we just lost a bunch of people who we gained a bunch of momentum with, and a bunch of fans that we were gaining momentum with, and then it was a complete, like, embarrassment, right? Because we're the U.S. sports fans want winners, and that's just what the reality of it is. So that's my concern of, we have a different point of view. We probably think about it a little differently, which is maybe better or worse. I don't know. Probably it all doesn't matter if it is better or worse, but I think that's more of my concern is, to your point, your friends who's never texted you about soccer, did we lose them? Can that friend
See, the thing is, I feel like no. Because, like, that friend is still texting me, like, let's go Morocco or something yesterday.
And that's awesome.
And I'm like, you're still watching?
Yeah. But I want that friend to go to 4 Chicago Fire games this year. I want that friend to go to...
Yeah, I mean, that is something that, regardless of the U.S. performance, I don't know if we're capturing well enough. And I think that's also an MLS problem. Why did they do anything? Like, nothing.
You know what pisses me off? I've watched, I would say, almost every single game on that TV in the other room right over there. I saw Oakland Roots run a commercial. I saw the New England Revolution run a commercial. Those are the 2 teams distinctly. I've seen other U.S. soccer teams run commercials during the water break and whatever for these games. Major League Soccer, nothing. You have an all-star game coming.
There's multiple Major League Soccer players playing in the World Cup. Like, highlight that.
You have
Talk about it.
Season. You have an all-star game. You have Leagues Cup. You have a full fucking.
I don't know what they're doing, and it's like that's embarrassing to me. Like, that's like, do you want to grow the sport? Like,
even if you're saying, like, do you want to make fucking money? Like, because that's clearly all Major League Soccer and U.S. Soccer cares about to an extent. you're not showing that you want to. Like, you know, like you wouldn't do
as a league. Like, I think like the Fire, I haven't seen commercials for necessarily, but like there's billboards around town I see every day that say, you know, it's Lewandowski and Messi, and it says like September 9th or something.
It's
like
annoying.
things like that is marketing, but the league itself, I feel like just blew this opportunity.
It's annoying that the league did not jump on anything and it went team by team, and you just know that there's teams that aren't gonna jump on the opportunity. Like, I'll give New York City FC credit, pushing hard all the Etihad Stadium things finishing up, like season tickets. They're pushing that it's done. They got Gotham FC to come play starting in 2027 at the Etihad Park. Like, awesome. Like, I love that. Like, push, this is your brand new stadium. Come watch NYCFC games and Gotham FC games here at New York City's first ever soccer specific stadium, and blah, blah, blah. Same thing with the Fire, like, right? Like, you're making big headlines.
They have billboards that say "Welcome to McDonald's Park," and people are coming up to me like, "Oh, that's what that's for."
Yeah,
like,
but I'm saying even Robert Lewandowski and the rumors of Leon Goretzka, right? Like, you're in the soccer media, soccer know.
Well, I obviously know these things are happening, but like the billboards, I think are doing a lot. Like, I see basically a Fire billboard every time I'm on the highway. Like,
That's
at least one of them. It'll pop up on one of those rotating ones, and it'll be like, "Oh, come to the game this weekend," or it'll show it like for the Messi game, and it has that. Or, you know, it said "Welcome Robert Lewandowski." Like, there's or "Welcome to McDonald's Park." Like, there's little things that they keep doing that I think are really awesome, but like the league itself is just wasting this.
Can I steer
wasted already?
Yeah. Can I steer us away from Major League Soccer?
Yeah.
Because that's where our brains
We can go back on U.S. soccer.
My final larger USMNT thought, and then maybe we can dive into players and moments and whatever. And I put this on Twitter and Blue Sky, and I understand for everyone in the comments. I get that it's not linear. Apples don't always equal oranges. I get it, but there's still a point to it, I think. If Paraguay can eliminate Germany and push France, if Cape Verde and Egypt can fight Argentina to the absolute fucking end, if Norway and Japan can handle Brazil for the most part, if DR Congo and Mexico can fight with England, then why are we, again, not expecting a win, but why are we getting embarrassed by Belgium? And again, I understand it's not always, X's, like, it's apples and oranges sometimes. I get that, but
I kind of don't. I don't know. Like, I see your point by saying it's like kind of not the same, but it kind of also is, right? Like to me, I'm like, it's not necessarily that we needed to win. It's the effort that Egypt showed, the effort that Cape Verde showed in every single game.
Literally,
they were willing to die out there, and like they were putting everything into that. We've already talked about the talent on our team. Like, I don't think anyone's going to sit here and think that Cape Verde is a more talented team than the U.S. men's national team.
Yes.
Just on pure talent. But I think they would have performed better than we did against Belgium in that game. Like, though it is kind of, sure, game to game, you can't exactly take everything away, but effort you can pay attention to. Like, the hard tackles you can pay attention to. Desire to like leave it out there, you can see that. So I don't know. I think it is kind of translatable to the point where it's like those teams, the gap between those teams is much bigger than the gap between the US and Belgium.
Yeah.
I think most people would agree. I mean, show me someone who doesn't agree, but it comes down to like how bad do you want it, right? Like, I don't know.
And look, that's why, like, it doesn't always matter what club your best players are playing for, and it doesn't always matter where your FIFA ranking is. Like, these things are, at the end of the day, arbitrary things that we all kind of put together, and we're like, oh, we have a dude at Atletico Madrid and Fulham. And
I mean, I think there is a slight difference. Like let's say when it comes to Egypt, we don't have anyone on Mo Salah's level. Like, not even close. We have never had anyone that good.
Right now?
Still right now. I would still say we don't have anyone on Mo Salah.
I would argue Flo Balogun might be up at a Mo Salah.
That's crazy.
Present day level.
No, I disagree. Like, I think we just simply don't have a guy that a year ago, take away this past season with Slot, which obviously was quite horrible. Mo Salah was like one of the highest goal scorers and assists in the Premier League.
Yes, look, if you're talking to me about Mo Salah's like the level that he was at in his career, no, the U.S. has never had a player of Mo Salah's level. But the rest of Egypt, no offense to the Egyptian national team, isn't good.
But
they never won a game in a World Cup before this year. So,
but like Norway, for instance,
fucking
Holland and Odegaard are better. Like they'd be our best two players, and then there would be a huge drop off.
But you know the funny of comparing them to Norway right now is if you put all fucking 26 rosters together, 26-man rosters together for the two groups, Odegaard and Holland would probably be 1 and 2 in terms of if I'm ranking them talent-wise. Then I think the U.S. has a large chunk of the next 3 through whatever fucking.
I'd have to go through their roster.
It's but whether it's whatever.
We probably have a good chunk that are at least starting. I would think, but I don't know. Someone who knows better about Norway's whole entire roster.
Overall, what I'm saying is this is not it. The issue, and maybe I can drop the point of the whole Paraguay, DR Congo, Cape Verde.
I think we can throw away the Paraguay thing. They barely even played a soccer game versus France.
Well, what I'm saying is like the comparisons of the effort to will and win that's kind of where I'm stuck on, and the reason why like I'm still emotionally like fucking pissed off at this team is like they just rolled over against Belgium. And I'm sorry, we're better than Cape Verde. Cape Verde pushed Argentina. We're better than Egypt, I think. Egypt pushed Argentina. The same thing with, again, whoever the fuck you want to talk about. Paraguay against Germany and France, whether you want to talk what Croatia's done, because Croatia's old. I think they're probably better than us overall, but Croatia pushed every single team that they played against. Ghana, DR Congo. Africa, by the way, has had a fantastic World Cup. I want to give Africa.
Yeah, if every game ended in the 80th minute.
Yeah, I mean, yes. If they could just play 10 more minutes, then maybe we'd see an African team in the quarterfinals or semifinals at this point. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my lingering issue. Is just it was so like I'll say this. I have a security guard downstairs in my apartment building who he loves talking sports with me. He's a Puerto Rican dude. So when the World Baseball Classic was on, we were talking like, Puerto Rico, US, like DR, like who's going to win it all? Like we'll talk every single sport, right? He's a big Giants fan, whatever. Like he shits on me for being a Mets fan when he's a Yankees fan. And it was after Bosnia. He was like, I'm not a big soccer guy, but he was like, that was a fun game. Like he was like I had energy. I was on it. He's like, you think we could like beat Belgium? I was like, yeah, I think we can. Like, I was like, it's a possibility. I was like, but it wouldn't surprise me if we lose. I was like, if let's just say we beat Belgium and we face Spain in a quarterfinal, I was like, I'll be honest, I think we get our asses kicked by Spain. But like, just kind of giving him my like general thoughts because he has zero idea. He kept on calling Pulisic like not even Pulisic, but whatever. Good guy. But the next day after the Belgium game, he was like, "What the fuck was that?" He was like, "That wasn't bad." He was like, "I can't watch that." And I'm like, "That's exactly the issue that I have with how we went out. Is like he was done, right? Like this guy who loves sports, who will talk sports and follow it, and he was telling me the most random shit about the Puerto Rican national baseball team. Like he completely was checked out after that Belgium game, and like that's what bothers me, Like that's what sits with me, and I'm like, you lost something there. Like the entire program lost something there with fans, and I'm sure he's just one example of what has happened. But maybe to your point, you still have your friends who are going to
maybe not everyone, but I think you definitely lost some people with that game.
All right, you mentioned Mauricio Pochettino and the possibility of him staying on. I've seen Paul Tenorio say, there's obviously positive ongoing conversation, but Paul Tenorio does not think Mauricio Pochettino will be back. I've seen others say that there's a good chance that Pochettino comes back. What are your thoughts on the possible return of Mauricio Pochettino as manager of the U.S.?
I'm fine with it. I liked Pochettino. Like I think, despite how that ended, he had a clear passion for this team and a clear love in want to do well. So like for me, I saw a lot of positives with him. I think maybe he didn't have enough time before this World Cup. Like he came in with 2 years before we got here.
Yeah, roughly.
It felt like there was zero confidence in anyone on the bench not named Sebastian Berhalter.
He Pepe and Reina, he played as well, but I mean,
okay, but I didn't. Reina played for a total of 45 minutes. I take away the Turkey game because that was not a real game.
You know what's crazy? Really quick, he played more minutes at this World Cup than he did the last 3 club seasons. It's fucking stupid.
Regardless, in the games that we actually mattered and tried in, it was Sebastian Berhalter. Like Pepe got some minutes, but he was probably number 2, I would guess, if you were removing that one game. And Reina was probably number 3, but Reina, like a lot of those games, they got no. I mean, was it the Bosnia game? They wouldn't even make a sub to the 88th minute, and I think that was partially because of the red card. But there was clearly no confidence in anyone not in the starting 11 in Sebastian Berhalter. So 12 players, and I think that is a sign of did we really know what we brought? Like this is a roster you put together, and I don't understand why there was no confidence there. In I don't know. Like to me, there were clear omissions in this roster that we've talked about, and there were clear pieces that could have helped alleviate some rest for our starters. Like I don't think Tyler Adams playing 90 minutes in 4 of the 5 games is maybe the best move.
Didn't we learn that from 2022? I mean, I will just.
All right. Well, Tom is gone, so I'll probably just continue with that point. I just think that for this World Cup, our roster was poorly built in the sense that our subs there was no trust there. There was no goal. I tried to keep it going. I just repeated myself.
I literally don't know. I should be good now. I don't know what happened. Sorry, everyone.
I was like, Tom is gone.
I will say before we get into the depth and roster issues, because I think that's a good conversation to have. I don't want to see Mauricio Pochettino return as manager of the U.S. Very rarely do I feel like I'm super confident on what side I believe in. I definitely believe in. I don't want to see him back. I think it was a really good 2.5-year run. I think he did a lot of positive and brought a lot of publicity and a very strong World Cup. I don't think this World Cup's an overall failure, even though there is a nice sting to it that I mentioned. But I just don't want to see a repeat of Greg Berhalter 2.0. What are we going to get into 2028? He's going to lose it.
I actually kind of feel like Greg Berhalter, people should be saying sorry.
No, don't disagree with that.
I don't want to see him as first of all, he's staying on the fire. We need to.
No. What I'm saying is what happened with Greg. 2022 happened. It was a good World Cup, right? From what people were saying, and I think we said it at the time. Greg got into 2024. Shit started going wrong. He got fired. Pochettino comes in after 16 interim managers. And then Pochettino gets a late start into a cycle.
Yeah.
And
I see what. Yeah. If we're gonna stick with Pochettino, he better be the coach for
2030 manager
to 2030. Yeah. And if we're not, then to your point, it's a mistake to keep a manager on to then not have him for. Clearly, we need the full cycle because it doesn't feel to me like Pochettino knew the squad, outside of the guys he really trusted.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why. Just really quick, I can also see a world where it's 2028, we lose a Gold Cup final in Mexico, Pochettino gets fired, and then we're just fucked in the same spot that we were, 4 years later or whatever. But I think the slow, 2.5-year buildup or 2-year buildup that Pochettino had is the reason why he didn't get fully acclimated to guys like Tanner Tessman, Aiden Morris, give Yunus Musa maybe a longer run, what Diego Luna could have brought off this team. Maybe, I mean, who fucking knows? It seems like Noah Kai Banks is very pro-US at this point, but maybe, we could have got him around a little bit longer if Pochettino was there longer. Johnny Cardoso. I don't. I mean, Johnny was injured, but still, like, there was clear omissions to your point, and I'm going to let you run with this because I have to let my wife into the apartment really quick. So you are going solo mode here, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I think to that point, like, the omissions are the thing that really bothered me because it came down to people that I think we should have been trusting. I think I've said it many times. Aiden Morris is one of the key players who I think would have been a fantastic addition to the team, especially to replace that Tyler Adams minutes if needed for rest purposes. And we just didn't have anyone that could back that up. And that's the thing that like bothers me the most. Also, like, to your point, how many times do we need to see Pepe do absolutely zero? Okay. Like, what is the point of bringing Haji Wright into this team? What was the point?
I mean,
we should have just not brought more people. What are we doing?
Very much feels like Pochettino didn't trust Haji Wright to play.
He obviously didn't. But what are we like? At some point, how is bringing on Pepe when you need a goal helping? Because no offense, he did nothing at all in any game.
At that point, to me, it's like, why isn't Julian Hall there? Just give the like.
That's just
if Haji Wright was going to play the same amount of minutes as Julian Hall, why not? Like, I
damn near played the same amount of minutes as Haji Wright, dude. Like, what's the point?
I also want to clarify this. Really like Haji Wright. Would have rather have seen him play.
I consistently said after like the first game, like, okay, I'm like, why are we not using Haji Wright? Like, throughout this whole World Cup, I'm like, he scored a World Cup goal.
Literally. I don't know why Brendan Aronson didn't play. Brendan Aronson seems like he could have been the perfect kind of dude to come in for Turkey.
I would have much rather had Brendan Aronson on the field than Gio Reyna in almost every single minute.
But like, the Turkey game was going to be a fist fight, right? Why not Brendan Aronson? Brendan Aronson's not going to get you that final assist. He's not going to score the big goal, but Brendan Aronson will fucking sprint for 90 minutes and get in people's fucking way. Against Bosnia, after Balogun gets the red, don't you want a guy like Brendan Aronson that's just going to fucking sprint around and press everywhere? No, we don't want that. Like, that is...
When we need a goal and we're just like not... I don't know. Like, Max Arfiston got like 5 minutes.
He barely...
I thought Pochettino liked Max Arfiston.
I thought so too, but apparently not. I mean, everyone got minutes.
Christian Roldan came into this team, which I was pretty happy with.
Roldan was injured for...
Yeah, and I was happy, but like, that's another problem. It's like, we had him there. He got hurt. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say with this, but I'm just really still mad that we didn't bring in Aiden Morris because I think Aiden Morris would have been the absolute perfect player to fill minutes and really give it his all.
I don't disagree. I don't agree with the lineup for the Turkey game. I don't agree with how the Turkey game was managed, to be perfectly honest.
I thought it was horrible. Like, I genuinely hated what we did. We previewed that game, and I said, just sit the people with the yellow cards. But like, I think we even talked about what our ideal lineup would be. And like the full rotation, including Matt Freese, insane. I think that was a major mistake.
Very clearly, based off the Belgium game, Matt Freese could have used consistent minutes in net. Could have used consistently just being...
Yeah, maybe he feels a little more confident on the ball.
I mean, look, I think that was just a fucked up play.
I mean, the first goal Belgium scored in like the 9th minute, we had 3 of our defenders watch the ball bounce. Watch it bounce.
The ball watching in that Belgium game, so the fucking thing about the Belgium game too is, what did we talk about leading into the World Cup? That the back line for the U.S. is the biggest concern. For 4 games, the back line for the U.S. played fucking unbelievable. And then
we should have a back line conversation because holy shit, what are we doing in 4 years?
I think Austin Trusty needs to get a run. That's all I'm going to sit here and say.
He definitely needs to be in that team now. I mean, how many people do you trust? Like, Tim Ream is probably done.
Tim Ream's 40. Okay, Tim Ream's gone. I love 2022. I love 2026. But Tim Ream, I love you, but you're done. Okay.
Mark McKenzie did not make us proud.
No, he didn't. To me, the only 2 guys that I know are gonna be around is Richards and Freeman.
Yep.
And then Freeman had a fantastic. I mean, he didn't have a great game against. He had an okay game against Belgium.
I mean, if you're talking about players who had a good World Cup, Freeman
Out.
genuinely has to be in that conversation. Like
Yeah.
Tillman, Freeman, Balogun. If you're naming anyone, like maybe Adams, those or McKennie, like those are the 5 names.
Yeah, I think Freeman and Richards are for sure, and then Austin Trusty. I mean, he'll be in his like
He'll be 31.
early 30s, right? Yeah, like he'll be. I think if he continues to play at a pretty high level at Celtic, like he should be around. He had a great game against Turkey. He scored a goal, obviously, but he fucking put it all on the line every single time he touched the ball. So I was a fan of Trusty after this World Cup. Obviously, he got injured in the Turkey game, which is maybe why we didn't see him.
I like how we brought and we argued, or not argued, but like we
20 defenders.
All the center backs and stuff we brought, and genuinely none of them were trustworthy. Like, what were we doing?
Brought 10 defenders or what is it? So we brought 6 center backs, maybe 7 if you consider Joe Scally a center back in this system. And in the games that mattered, we only played fucking 3. So I mean, what like that is where. Again, I liked Pochettino. I think he did a lot for the program. I think, again, it's a successful World Cup, and now he sits atop U.S. managers at a World Cup, right, in terms of wins and stuff like that. I think Pochettino made a lot of poor decisions in terms of the roster. It's revisionist history. We can't go back and change anything. I also don't know how many realistic names there are that I would say this guy deserves a shot. We can talk Luna. We can talk Morris. Like, sure.
I mean, if you're talking center backs, like that's where it starts to get concerning. But I do think there are places where we could have used other players like Luna or Aiden Morris instead of bringing Miles Robinson.
What I'm saying is sure, I agree. But after saying Diego Luna, Aiden Morris, or Tanner Tessman's name, that's it. You know, like I can't think of another U.S. player that I'm like is at USMNT World Cup quality level outside of Johnny Cardoso, who's injured, that performed in the last 2 years, aka Yunus Musa, who hasn't performed in 18 months, who should be on this roster. I mean, who isn't also fucking 18 years old, you know, like Julian Hall, right? Like I mentioned him before, but was he actually going to ever make it? Probably not. So
Xavier Gozo, Julian Hall, Mehmeti, like those are the kind of guys that, like, honestly, probably would have given more than what some of what we got.
I don't disagree. I would have rather have seen some of those guys, but in terms of like if we're talking like realistically, I think it's 3 names, and I don't know if Diego Luna changes our trajectory at this World Cup. You know, I don't
know if he's like gonna completely change a game, but I do think he changes things. Like I think we see more of Diego Luna than we like when we're making a sub and it's Gio Reyna. Like I'd rather see Diego Luna coming on, who I know is going to just like 100% balls to the walls kind of attitude. Like I don't know. I do think Diego Luna's a good point. Like where is he? Like Pochettino likes him. I don't know why he wasn't in this team, because he's clearly brought in people he doesn't trust. So we're bringing in people we don't trust with guys sitting at home that, like, I know, like Diego Luna specifically is a player that Pochettino probably gets valuable minutes out of.
Yeah, I don't disagree. All right. We'll go to a positive for a second, because then I have a negative to go to after. Give me your top 3 players from the U.S. this World Cup, because I think I can focus on the negative. I could be that guy for sure, but there are positive players and positive moments.
Yeah. I mean, I think you start with Balogun. Like, we haven't had a striker that can score like he had in this World Cup. The chances he took starting from the very first game, the threat he created just by being in, the amount of own goals we had were like there's a reason for that, right? There's a reason we're making these good plays, and it's putting defenders in a bad situation. So I would say Balogun 100% needs to be in that top 3. I would say Chris Richards, because genuinely the drop off between Chris Richards and any other defender is pretty massive. I think without him, I'm just totally concerned with, can we stop anything or anyone? Man, that's tough. because I do want to see Freeman, but I think I would probably go with Malik Tillman because I think Malik Tillman has made – he was one of those bright spots. I mean, 2 free kick goals, which were pretty incredible.
And jumped out of my seat on both of them. I celebrated for a whole 45 seconds.
I just think for him, it's like we saw someone that truly was on that creative side, could do things that I don't think we've seen really ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you could go up to maybe 6 players. I think I could probably name 3 more. But
I'm given the luxury of 3 here because that's all I can feel positive about right now.
I mean, I feel very like I'm gonna just steal another number and go 4, but I feel pretty positive about Sebastian Berhalter's performances.
That's fair. That's fair.
In the limited minutes he got, he was arguably one of the brighter spots in the entire tournament.
Berhalter's the only one that looked like he gave a shit for the Turkey game, for post red card Bosnia, and for the entirety of him on the field versus Belgium. He's the only one that looked like he gave a fuck.
Easily. I mean, he every time he came in, it was like a welcoming sight.
My 3 players, I mean, I agree with you. 2 for me are Balogun, 3 goals in 5 games or 4 games at this World Cup. Malik Tillman, the 2 free kick bangers, and what he. If Malik Tillman, I understand, I know he's openly said it in interviews. If he continues to insist that he is not a central midfielder and he wants to play on the wing or in the attack, I'm gonna fucking snap because he's clearly unbelievable when he's
so good
playing in a lower block, and he can be a little bit of creative from a lower block. Just fucking play there and you're going to be world class. Like, I don't understand what the confusion is, but whatever. So Balogun and Tillman are my 1 and 2. And yeah, I mean, I'm just going to sub out, you said it, I'm going to sub out Richards for Freeman. I think Villarreal are fucking sinking their teeth into the fact that they got Freeman before the World Cup.
They're probably so excited.
He obviously scores the first goal against Australia. I think defensively, playing out of position. I guess whatever. He was kind of playing right back, and depending on the game state, but he was fantastic. So those would be my 3 of Balogun, Tillman, and Freeman.
I don't have any disagreement either. Like, I don't think at
Richards
that point, I think Richards and Freeman are probably both worthy of a mention there.
And then I think Weston McKennie had a pretty good tournament, even though he kind of shit the bed versus Belgium. But
I also think Tyler Adams had a pretty good tournament overall.
Yeah, again, I think the Belgium game leaves me a little because I think Tim Ream had a good tournament up until Belgium. It's sad. Dest had a good tournament up until Belgium. Robinson,
he just got absolutely picked apart.
I mean,
Dest and Robinson were just awful against Belgium. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, same with Matt Freese. Well, Matt Freese, I don't think had a great tournament up until Belgium. I think he was just there. But all right. I'm gonna bring up a player, and we're gonna have the conversation.
I think it's who you're gonna bring up, and I get to go first on this because I don't know your opinion, but I have very strong opinions.
Christian Pulisic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think I was thinking about this last night. Actually, it's keeping me up, which is hilarious, right?
Keeping me up at night, Christian Pulisic.
Well. And I think I don't know your opinion. This is why I kind of wanted to go first because I think my opinion might be more rare. I'm kind of pissed off at the media and shit. Like, I think it's absolutely disrespectful to be calling Christian Pulisic out like this. And, like, it's so short-sighted. Did he have a good World Cup? Absolutely not.
No.
Right? Did he have a good first half to start the World Cup? Yes. Right? Then he got a calf injury that was clearly hindering him. Then are we going to sit here and say he was 100% for the other games? I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to be like, oh, this guy just doesn't give a shit. Like, I've seen Christian Pulisic give a shit. He was one of the only players who cared when we lost to Trinidad.
Christian Pulisic gives a fuck about playing for the USMNT.
It's ridiculous to me that we're getting these comments from media members who some I respect, some who no, I'm not going to mention any names, okay? Some I do not respect. But regardless, I find it absolutely incredible that I don't know if it's jealousy or what, but there's no shot that someone can look at me and say he doesn't care because I know he cares. He was like an 18-year-old when we lost to Trinidad, and he put his all into that game. Not everyone in that game put their all into it, right? So
he led a new generation from that moment.
It actually makes me so heated. That's what I was like thinking about this last night. I'm like, I was getting pissed off because I was like, this guy has led us through some of the darkest times in the last 15 years of being a U.S. men's national team fan. There was literally nothing bright about our team besides Christian Pulisic. And the fact that he's getting this hate and this like backlash is just insane to me, because I don't think it's fair at all. And I think the calf injury, like, is he injury prone? 100%, right? He's been injured half of his career.
Since he's been 18.
I think people have massive expectations because I think a lot of the media tries to find that wonder kid, right? We've done it with so many different players to this point that I think it puts this, oh, why is he not Messi? It's like, because he's just not that kind of guy. He's not that player, but he's
expectation on this whole generation that, you know, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I don't know how much you listen to soccer wise with David Goss and all of them. David Goss, since, I've been listening to him since Extra Time. He has consistently said for years, this is not a golden generation of the United States men's national team. This is just the first time the U.S.
I honestly hate the term golden generation.
I hate it too.
Because it's so stupid, but
I agree. But I agree with him when he says this is just the first time the U.S. has had a consistent pipeline of players, which is so true.
I mean, this is the first time we're seeing MLS academies have a big say in the U.S. men's national team.
Yes, but sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. It really pisses me off because I just don't – I genuinely think it's short-sighted. It's looking at the last 5 games saying, oh, he missed some of those due to injury. That was obviously he was injured. He came back. He didn't look nearly like himself because he was injured. And then he got hurt again. And then it's like to say that I've seen comments that are like, oh, was he really injured? Like, there's reports that he's going to miss the start of AC Milan. You think he's doing this for show? Like, yeah. It blows my mind. Oh, man, it makes my blood boil, dude. Like, oh, my God.
I will say this. I fully agree with you. I understand that fans and pundits and media do not like Christian Pulisic personally. I will say I understand he pisses off 50% of our country with his political stance and where he falls on that line. Removing that, because I mean, how many players do you and I love watching soccer but probably disagree with their
I don't know half of their political opinions.
But that's what I'm saying.
I'll be honest, like, they're athletes, and no offense to a lot of these athletes, but sometimes their opinions are just bad, right?
But that's what I'm saying is I understand there is plenty of people out there who hate Christian Pulisic for that and are always going to, I think, have this opinion of him because of that. I personally think Christian Pulisic, when he is done playing for the USMNT, will be I think he'll surpass Dempsey and Donovan as the greatest USMNT player of all time in terms of, goals, assists, all of it, right? He's top 5 already in goals for the US. He's number 2 all time in assists for the US. I think he has had World Cup moments, scoring with his balls against, Iran, right, in 2022. And I do think this was a failed, missed World Cup for him. He played 45 minutes against Paraguay, had an assist, looked like he was coming out fucking hot. And then from that point, right, missed 2 games, and the other 2 games he played, he was clearly injured for. And now it's coming out reports to your point of he broke something in his leg, right? And like he's, or not broke it, but he's dealing with a potential long.
Well, a fracture is a break, isn't it?
Yes.
I don't know the doctor terms, but I'm pretty sure a fracture is a break.
It is. It's a degree of a break, but still, I think Christian Pulisic did not have a good tournament. And there's 2 people that I've watched video clips of in the last few days.
Don't say their names. Don't give them it.
No, I mean, look, I don't fully agree with both of these guys' opinions often. I will sit here and say that. One's Taylor Twellman and one's Landon Donovan. Landon Donovan, I thought was actually very mature for someone who I think has showed his moments of not being super mature in the media over the last few years. But Landon Donovan was like, look, in 2010, I was expected to be the dude, and I had an absolute shit World Cup. And then I bounced back in 2014. He was like, he literally said, he's like, I think I'm the only one who can.
Didn't Landon Donovan not get called up for 20?
Or whatever it was, 2014. Then was the he bounced back maybe afterwards. I don't remember. I'm just talking off the fly pretty much, but something to that extent of like his career bounced back, and then what happened in 2014. Yes, with Klinsmann and all of that. But pretty much Donovan was just saying something like he feels like he's the only one that can really speak from Christian Pulisic's point of view right now of like being the face of the program and not showing up for a World Cup. And he was like, Christian is going to be fine. He's like, Christian's going to have to like look at himself in the mirror and really have some like hard conversations with himself and people around him and be able to grow from a moment like this. Which I think is fair.
But if he was genuinely injured, like not showing up and being injured are two different things.
But it's still, I think, a social expectation, a nation expectation that he's still carrying on his shoulders because he is the number one player on this team. No matter who wants to argue that point on with me, I don't care. Christian Pulisic is the face of the program, and he's the guy who's expected to be the star. Now, Donovan said some other things that he doesn't really like the team around him that he has, and Pulisic, like, he doesn't think it's Christian Pulisic specific because, to your point, Pulisic, he thinks cares about the U.S. and will do it all, but that, like, his team around them and, like, family around them, like, doesn't doesn't let him, like, not come across as kind of like a dick because I think Christian Pulisic does kind of come across like a dick. But, like, you know, that his, like, team and his family keep him away from media and, like, doing interviews and stuff like that. But whatever. I agree with Landon Donovan's point there. And Taylor Twellman also said it. I don't remember on what podcast he was on. But Twellman said something to the extent of like, Christian Pulisic is an unbelievable talent, but he does not want to be the guy. He wants to be the second, third best attacker on the team and be a complementary piece to that, the same way he was at Chelsea, at Dortmund, and with Milan, right? Like, he very much, like, Twellman was like, I very much know Pulisic's opinion, and he doesn't want to be the number one dude. And I don't disagree with that. I think if Christian Pulisic is your second or third best attacker, that's where you're probably thriving with him on the team. He's not going to be Messi, Ronaldo. He's not going to be James Rodriguez. He's not going to be, Mo Salah or, think of, any individual, Sadio Mane, right? Like, he's not going to be an individual star on a team that's excelling at the international level, or he's not going to be the guy. He's not going to be Michael Jordan, like it's just, it is what it is. And I think that's where the negative connotation around Christian Pulisic also arrives of like the average U.S. soccer fan knows Christian Pulisic's name because he's the only one that they've known in the last 15 years. And they expect him to have a goal and an assist every single game. And that's just not how it works, right? And I think that's where Christian Pulisic gets a lot of slack that he doesn't overly deserve often. That's my larger Christian Pulisic take. I said a lot there, so sorry.
I have no notes, honestly. I think you're probably like, I just met Landon Donovan. I respect the guy. Like, I think he's totally matured and he's like he's a good person. Like, yeah. I don't think he's going out of his way to try and like belittle anyone. It just bothered me a lot because I just don't think it's fair that the guy who just like carried us for a decade is now now we have like other players, so let's just like throw him away. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's super unfair to Christian Pulisic and what he's given to this program to say that he doesn't care is something that just really pissed me off.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously people are going to pull up the comments about him sitting out the Gold Cup and him saying, like, now I can rest and all. And, like, I get it.
Which was taken so out of context. They were asking specifically about his injury.
Yeah. Like,
so we're just doing what media does and just clipping the one sentence that gets people like fired up. Oh, my God. Dude.
I don't disagree. Do I think Christian Pulisic can't – he's – to your point and to the point of people out there too, he's injury prone. I don't think he can play every single minute. I think we need to have options at left wing that aren't Christian Pulisic, and you can't expect him to play 90 minutes every single game or 90 minutes every single tournament. Nations League, Gold Cup, Copa America, if it comes to the U.S., whatever, right? So do I think, Christian Pulisic at the next World Cup will be 31 years old, and Christian Pulisic, I would put money, is going to be involved in that tournament? 100%. Do I think, people are like, he needs to be a super sub off the bench? Like, no, I don't think that, because I think he sets a tone from the beginning. But I will be interested to see, I think, the response on the field from Christian Pulisic over the next, year, 2 years, and what that kind of looks like from him as he now goes from someone who's 27 years old and into looking into his next World Cup and a potential move to MLS and all of this seeming like it could be realistic in the next, 2 years or whatnot. So we will see. Anything on else on Pulisic that you want to mention?
I mean, I'm just glad I feel like we did a good job on that one because, I think some of that needed to be said.
All right. Let's give the last 5 minutes here of just the World Cup is still going on, folks. The U.S., just because they're eliminated doesn't mean the World Cup isn't going on. France beat Morocco in the first quarterfinal. Quarterfinal. Yep. Game yesterday, 2-0. Today, day of recording, day that this is dropping, Spain versus Belgium. I hope Spain kicks the shit out of Belgium. And then tomorrow you have Argentina, Switzerland, Norway, England. What are your thoughts right now about, as we approach, the last, 7 to 9 days of this World Cup?
This has been an awesome World Cup.
It's been fun.
Like, from just a World Cup perspective, this has been so exciting. Like, having it in North America has been really cool to see. Having, I'm actually kind of bummed, like, all three host nations went out, like, essentially back to back to back. I think it made it fun having the host nations kind of moving forward. Even though, one's Mexico, one's Canada. I don't know if they're our favorite teams, but it was fun. Like that Mexico-England game was an absolute blast.
Fucking balls to the wall.
We've had some incredible games. Argentina just repeatedly putting out banger games for some reason. I don't know what's going on there.
Messi looking like he's the GOAT.
France looking like genuinely the most unbeatable team in the world, and then Spain, who just doesn't allow shots on goal at all, or goals in general. Like this, I don't think the Spain team has allowed a goal this tournament, if I can remember correctly. But the whole tournament itself has just been so much fun, and like the fact that we're getting lower and lower, like after tomorrow we have another 2 days off, and then more days off, and I'm gonna be sad when it's done. Like having soccer like this, it's just so exciting to just turn on the TV and there's a game every single day.
It's addicting. It really is. Yeah, I mean, I want to say, like, it has been fantastic to see some of these African nations and some of the South American nations, I think, really kind of like showing out.
And the impact of the World Cup is like truly felt.
Oh, for sure. I think our concerns there have been alleviated. Obviously, we're an MLS podcast from an MLS point of view, maybe not, but we will dive into that probably as we look to transition back into talking about MLS Weekly. It's surprising to me that France has not played well, but they look unbeatable at the same exact time. It's incredible.
I think saying they haven't played well is like an overstatement.
I think they get very good moments from Mbappe, Elise, Dembele, and
they have the best three attackers.
These small moments outshadow the shittiness of how France plays overall.
I think France is just able to play like to the point of today when we're talking about this. They're now into the semifinal.
Yeah,
they have won games in essentially any way that the other team wants to play. Like it doesn't seem like they care. They just figure it out and win.
Well,
I think whether or not that's like, oh, they're playing their game or they're playing so great, it's like it doesn't really seem to matter because regardless, when they get on the ball, they're so dangerous I don't know how you beat them. Like, I think if you're Spain, which hopefully it'll be Spain versus France, I think that's my pick.
Yeah.
But if you're Spain, like, you have to just hold the ball for 90 minutes. Like, I don't know how you beat France.
I think Spain. Look, the three favorites coming into this tournament that everyone was saying. Maybe I don't know why people had Portugal in the conversation. Fuck that. But the three favorites that I think people were saying were France, Spain, Argentina, right? And I would put very good money that three of those teams are in the semifinals. And
I think the fourth team was England.
Yeah, I mean,
there were people saying Portugal, but Portugal's midfield's really good. But when we previewed this, I was like, Portugal, like, I don't see it with this team.
I really hope Holland makes a semifinal against Argentina. That's really what I would fucking love to see.
At that point, like, that's a totally winnable game for Norway.
Norway in a World Cup final, even if they lose, that's fucking insane.
Hey, I'm Norwegian. I'm having an absolute blast. Like, it's like I have two teams in this World Cup. Well, now I only have one. But
the last thing that I just want to say about this World Cup is, and we see it every World Cup, right? It is the exit internationally at the highest level of some of the best players of all time. When you talk about, I hate the guy, but I will say Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, James Rodriguez, Mo Salah, Sadio Mane, Memo Ochoa. Like, these are legendary soccer players for both club and country that this is the last time we're going to see them at the World Cup. We've seen some Neymar. We've seen some emotional exits.
Neymar.
Probably Casemiro as well. I would throw in there.
I don't even know. Salah, I could see maybe going for one more, but
I think Salah 33.
I think he's older than that.
34? Well, I don't think he's playing a World Cup at 37, 38, 39 years old. I mean, Messi
he's 34, so he'd be 38. I could see it.
That's fair. Whatever.
It depends on what he does these next 4 years.
I just think overall you're seeing whether
you're not thinking Mo Salah as Egypt as a 38-year-old in 4 years.
Probably. That's fine.
Why would you not if he's still playing?
Whether it's like a Neymar Ronaldo confirmed exit to their international or their World Cup.
Sadio Mane also announced.
Yes, Sadio Mane as Memo Ochoa as well, or whether it's
I think everyone knew that one was coming.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Manuel Neuer, right? No one expected him to be back, but here he is. Or whether it's an assumed exit to their World Cup international careers, it is just a goodbye to some of these guys who've been fantastic to watch. James Rodriguez as well, if I didn't mention. I would argue Leo Messi when that happens, but who fucking knows if a 43-year-old Leo Messi is still pinging the ball around.
Like tied with Mbappe in the Golden Boot race. So I don't know what we're doing. Like, this man just might be playing at 60.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, no, that is just the last thing that I wanted to mention is, it happens every World Cup, but the legendary historic players who are going to be ending their World Cup careers.
How long does Messi take before he plays an MLS game after this?
The All-Star game's coming up, baby. Come on, what are you talking about?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll believe it. Yeah.
He'll get one game suspended and just use it as an excuse to rest. All right. We do have a lot of MLS to talk about, as there are MLS games this month, Jason. Later this month, we do play MLS soccer. But we will get to that at a different point. Enjoy the rest of the quarterfinals and probably the semifinals before we talk again. And then we will talk about the final and everything Major League Soccer probably the week after that. And it's go time. We're back. We're back into the full swing of things. And all of the crazy transfers that have happened already that we haven't even remotely mentioned. But Jason, thank you. I appreciate it. It has been not the best of ending to the U.S. men's national team, but if you enjoyed soccer, you found us during the World Cup or after the World Cup, or this is your first time listening, hang on, enjoy your local MLS team, enjoy us, go find a USL team. I don't care. Enjoy U.S. soccer. Don't just, scream Arsenal.
Support it. That's what we need. If you want to see better every 4 years, then you got to support your local teams.
And it just means watch the games. That's all it is. Just watch the games. Go to a game. Watch it on TV. Have fun. Talk about it. Go to a bar and talk about it. Enjoy. And that's all I got. So thank you guys. Thank you, Jason. And we will talk to you again next week.